Hello, it's Steve Mills here, and welcome to this episode of Results Mastery, my podcast. And thank you for being here. If you've are a regular subscriber, it's great to have you back. If you're new and this is your first time, then I really hope you enjoy it. If you do, then make sure you subscribe. I've spent now 29 years helping small businesses to become more effective, make more money, make more sales, make more profit. And I know I can do the same for you. And it's part of my ongoing commitment that I had 29 years ago that I was going to help as many small businesses as I possibly could. And one of the tools I now use to do that is my Results Mastery podcast. So that said, now today's a little bit different. And it's different because what I'm going to play you is actually a recording. I've got to be upfront and tell you that because, it's important to always be honest. Now, the reason I'm playing you this is that I recorded this earlier today on video. And I did a blooming good job, or at least I hope I did. I hope you think I did when you listen to it. And it's called Questions Are the Answer, which is a bit of an unusual title, but also at the same time, I think an interesting one, possibly a thought-provoking one, and one that could really help your business. So all I can say for now is sit back, relax, and enjoy this podcast. I'm going to talk to you again at the end live, so look forward to speaking then. The recording is 9 minutes 53, so, be prepared to spend that amount of time and make sure you stay to the end because it will be of great value to you. So thanks ever so much for listening, and here we go. Hello, everybody. My name's Steve Mills, for those of you who don't know me. I've now spent just over 29 years working with small businesses, helping them with their marketing, helping them with sales, and helping them to grow their business. I learned my skills and my trade from really what I call the world's leading sales, marketing, and business growth experts. I've spent a phenomenal amount of time and money learning how to really market because that's a real skill. I was talking to a friend this morning saying, one of the biggest problems that small businesses have is what I call operational expertise. They're experts at doing the operational work of the business. And what I mean by that is, let's say, for example, if you're a garage mechanic, you start your own garage because you're an expert at it and you're really good and you enjoy repairing cars. The problem with that is that you're not necessarily an expert in financial management and you're not necessarily an expert at sales and marketing. And without those two levels of expertise in your business, then, potentially that's why, 80% of businesses fail within the first 5 years. That's certainly what I believe anyway. So, we need expertise. Now, most people know they need an accountant who sort of deals with that, telling them how well they did last year. If you get a good accountant, they'll tell you how well you're going to do this year and what you need to do to improve it. But then we need help with marketing. I work with businesses, they tend to have a couple of problems. One problem could be lack of time. They don't have time to do their own marketing. Others could be just don't literally like marketing and I hate it and I don't want to do it myself. I get a few people like that. And the last group of people who just don't get modern digital marketing. When I started 29 years ago, it was, buy the biggest advert you can, send out loads of direct mail and, stick an advert in a newspaper. That was being a little bit tongue-in-cheek here, but, there wasn't the complexity that there is now. There are loads and loads of different things. So, that is really important. But in this video, I wanted to show you something, and that is a book. I'm not selling it. I'm not promoting it. Well, I am promoting it, I suppose, but I'm certainly not selling it. You can't buy it from me, but you can buy it from somewhere like Amazon or, other reputable book selling websites or stores. It's called The Road Less Stupid by a guy called Keith J. Cunningham. And it's a brilliant book, and it contains lots of really great advice on business growth. Keith J. Cunningham would be one of many of the top sales, marketing, and business growth experts I've learned from. And I learned a lot in this book. And one of the things that I learned from this book was the thoughts around what Keith calls thinking time. And he says that one of the biggest mistakes, one of the stupid mistakes, if you will, that people make is not spending enough thinking time. Now, another expert that I've learned a lot from is Tony Robbins. Some of you may have heard of Tony. He's probably the world's leading sales, marketing, business, personal growth expert. Tony, I believe, turns over something like 7 billion a year, which is just a little bit more than me, so I say that quite tongue-in-cheek, by the way. Tony's a real expert. Great. If you get a chance to listen to him, I'd strongly recommend you do. No doubt you can find him on YouTube and so on and so forth. But Tony, as I say, and that is, thinking is the process of asking and answering questions. Now, if you thought about that, you probably asked yourself, is that true? You might have asked it in a flash, but you said, is that true? And you came up with an answer. So that's what Tony means, yeah? I said something, and you asked yourself a question, is that true? And you went, yes, it is, or you went, no, it isn't. And either way, you asked yourself and answered the question really quickly. So you get what I'm on about. Hopefully, I'm hallucinating that you do anyway. So what are the questions that you're asking yourself in your business on a regular basis? Do you sit down at the beginning of every week and say to yourself something like, what are the 3 things that I can do this week to massively increase my profit? And actually sit down, or go a walk. I love going a walk. Go a walk and take a pen or your phone to dictate onto, and just spend time thinking about that question, because it's a great question. Because the better the question, the better the answer. What is the number one thing that you could do in your business in order to improve it? What is the number one thing? What do you want in your business? Is it like, I want more time. I don't want to be spending 12, 14 hours a day. That's the number one thing I want. Right, well, what you got to do? Because if you just get busy, you're just going to keep doing it, make it, shipping it, selling it, doing the work, and so on, exchanging time for money. If we're in a business where we exchange time for money, there's only so much time and there's so much money. What about other questions? You look on the wall behind me. When I have an initial meeting with somebody, I call it a discovery meeting. It's a free, no obligation, one-to-one meeting with somebody who's looking to grow their business. And I have 6 questions that I always ask them, and they're great questions. Where are you now? That's a good question for you to ask yourself. How did you get there? What have you done? What's worked? What hasn't worked? There are loads of questions that come from that. Where do you want to go? Are we looking for world domination? Are we looking for millions or billions? Or would it be great if you went from 250 to about 400,000 a year? What about your profit? There's an old saying that income is vanity, profit is sanity. So, what we really want is more profit, not more income. You don't want to grow from 1 million to 2 million if you're currently losing 200,000 a year, because that would mean you're losing 400,000 a year. So we've got to get profitable before we leverage our business. So where do you want to go? Why do you want it? What's the motivation behind it? Again, Tony calls it the motive for action. And I love that. The motivation, the motive for action. Because without a motive for action, without a reason for doing it, you're probably not going to get yourself to do it. A lot of people say, well, I'd love to grow my business, but they don't put the effort in because they don't really have not really thought about what they want and why they want it. How are you going to get there? Again, I come across so many businesses who say, yeah, I'm going to grow my business. I said, oh, right, have you got a plan for that? No, I haven't. I've not got a plan, no. No, I've not got a marketing plan. No, I haven't got that. I've not got a sales development plan. No, I've not got that either. I've not got a business plan with financials, Steve. No, I've not managed. I am too busy. I've not got time to do that. You with me? And what are the obstacles? You're going to need to know the obstacles because, shit's going to hit the fan. You're going to have problems. Let's face it. I'm not here to tell you, once you know that, it'll all be all singing, all dancing. Once you got a plan, that'll work. No, there'll be obstacles, there'll be problems. And we need to, really, I suppose, try our best to mitigate those, to be aware that they're going to come off at least, and then you can do something about it. So that's all I've got to say. I hope it was of value to you. It's all about trying to help you. I put these videos out. I try to do them every day. Probably don't quite succeed in that. I'm busy, but I try and do as many as I can. So if you'd like to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Pop on over to my website. You can see them again on the... Sorry, it's always weird when you're doing this. It's like, it's there. Yes, there is my website. You can go to either one and sign up to my... basically, I call it my Results Mastery Tips. So sign up to my tips. That'll give you lots of information, lots of emails. Go and connect to me on LinkedIn, wherever you want. Again, you can find details on my website of how to do that. Other than that, just say thank you very much for listening. If you want to book a meeting with me, again, feel free to do so. Go to my website, give you access to my online diary. You can find a time and book yourself in. Thanks very much and speak soon.
Okay, so that was it. What did you think? Love to get some feedback. If you did like it, it'd be...
I'm going to...
Whoa, hang on, sorry. I've got another video started. Let me turn that off. Sorry, I was saying, so if you did like it, it'd be great if you'd share it, tell people about my blog post, tell people about my videos. I'm sure if you go to Steve Mills Marketing on YouTube, you'll find my channel. Don't just type in Steve Mills because there are thousands of us. I never realised how many people were called Steve Mills. You wouldn't believe it. But anyway, if you type in Steve Mills Marketing, you'll find my channel. Go and have a look. There's some, there are literally hundreds of videos. Or probably most of which will help you in some way. So go and have a look, see what you think. If you'd like to book a meeting, as I said in the recording, feel free to do so. And just wish you every success with your business. But like all these things, knowledge, learning what you've just learned, I can tell you now, is a total and utter waste of time. Unless you do the next thing, which is the application of knowledge. Yeah, you've learned some things that it's good to do and ask questions, and the quality of the questions is really important. So ask a better question, you get a better answer. But if you don't ask questions, if you just don't allocate time for thinking time, then you won't ever do it. And it's good to get into a habit. If you looked at my diary right now in Google, it would say 7 o'clock every morning till 7:30 is defined as thinking time. So go and schedule it into your diary and allocate, even if it's just once per week. Monday morning, 7 till 7:30 is thinking time, or whenever is good for you. So thanks very much, and I hope you'll subscribe to my podcast. Thank you.